What's up, everyone? This is David the Smash Fan here, and today we are going to talk about Tsurezure Children. So this is I mentioned it a few times that about the anime, or I might not have actually. I didn't. I omitted it from my top 10. I actually forgot about that. I don't know why I omitted them. They somehow just didn't make the cut. But they are top 10 of 2017 in my opinion. But for some reason I put it in there. But today we're going to talk about the manga, and big thing about the manga, if you've never read it, is it goes, every chapter it usually focuses on one couple. Every chapter is just one couple, and so the progression of the couples you see is very slow because it doesn't always focus on one couple, which is also a good thing too. Like, it doesn't get stagnant with just watching the same people make the same mistakes, or get mad like, oh, why aren't they together yet, or whatever it may be. But this one, like, they have tons of, I think there's more than 10 couples or 10 pairings or almost pairings that are happening in this manga. And so I'm gonna try and do reviews of in bulk, so like every 10 15 chapters, however many it takes for all of their relationship to at least progress in some way. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. The chapters I'm going to be covering are going to be roughly 180 to 191 that have come out, that have been translated. So everyone has a favorite couple here. I already know that everyone does, and so I omitted like maybe 2 or 3 chapters for either one, like there's really no progression, or 2, it wasn't very pertinent to the story. So, but anyway, enough of my rambling. Let's get on with the couples here. So this is not going to go in chronological order, but the basis of what's happening in these relationships time wise is that it's Christmas time and New Year's, so everyone's getting ready for either their dates or they're getting ready for whatever it may be, and so we're gonna go not by chapter, but I at least just by the couples that I've put on here. So first one is going to be Furuya and Minagawa. If you don't remember this one, if you remember the anime, Furuya is the one that has the little sister who has a brother complex, and then you have Minagawa, who likes to mess with Furuya and the little sister. So very very quick backstory. They end up getting together, and so this is their first Christmas together. And in this part where they focus on the Christmas part, they Furuya, the guy, wants to progress their relationship, and so they go walking outside, and he tries to set the mood to like kiss her, because that's what he wants to do. And Minagawa, her, like, she doesn't like to take things very serious. She likes taking things in a goofy manner, or she likes to laugh things off, even if it's something that it is something very like sensitive to her or weak to her. Like, she always talks about like how Furuya knows her weak spots. But anyway, like, it's awesome because Furuya like actually takes some initiative and goes and kisses her underneath a tree, and then she retaliates back, giving him a kiss, and then they're like, oh, okay, that's enough. Two kisses, that's way more than enough. So that part, like I said, they're progressing kind of normally, not too much drama. They're really good. All right, next one. So we have Sugawara and Takuno. So this couple is the one where Sugawara was the one that likes Takuno first, but she doesn't really realize that, and she thinks that whenever he does try and talk about his feelings, he doesn't straight out say I like you, but he thinks that she can like kind of pick up on it, but she doesn't. And then you start seeing her have feelings for him. Then they have those moments at the beach. Again, this is not in the anime, but at the beach. And now what had happened was he asked Sugawara to go like on a date for Christmas, but while that was happening, she was practicing with one of her friends, and they made plans for Christmas, and so she's not able to go there. But they meet up in New Year's. So they meet up in New Year's, and Sugawara he's at the point where he knows that, or he tells himself that Takuno doesn't have any feelings for him. But as he like starts talking to her in the New Year's, and all of them leave, because all of them are like, oh, how come you guys aren't together yet? Like, well, you look good together. And she's like, no, I never thought that way. Like, no, I don't think about that. Which is a lie. Lies. She's lying to us all. But so he finally, so they start talking to each other and talking about like these entrance exams, because a lot of the couples, they're omitted in this bulk of chapters just because a lot of them are just studying, so there's not much going on over there. So now what's going on is they start talking, and she starts seeing how she'll be lonely because they won't be in the same class for the remaining year, and telling Sugawara that we should focus on our studies and our exams. And he goes and he says, I like you. And she starts crying. She's like, that's not fair, Sugawara. Like, I want to focus on the exams. I want to, be an adult. And then she runs off. And I guess what was going on is she was basically made up her mind that she wasn't going to do anything about this, or that her feelings for her were not actually romantic. And so when she heard that, I'm pretty sure that's it, making her question or doubt what she had made up her mind of, that it's not love and whatever. And so she runs off, and it kind of leaves at a cliffhanger where he tries to yell out for Takano, but nothing happens. And then talk about my favorite couple is Akagi and Ryoko. They're studying, so not much to say about them. Next one is, it's a fairly new couple. It's Tojo Mai and Ogiue Taichi. So Mai is a librarian who gets very, very nervous whenever she talks to her crush, which is Taichi. And Taichi is, I believe, is the head of the basketball team. And so, but every time that Mai tries to speak to Taichi, she like yells, and like, so he has this impression of, I don't know if she likes me, because every time she talks to me, she yells. So, but she sums up the courage to go and invite him to the Christmas party that all the friends are having. So they go to the Christmas party. They have this karaoke and drinks that are going on, and she ends up wanting to get out to get more drinks. And so the friends, great friends that they are, they butt in, and they're like, hey, you bring Taichi out there, get drinks with him too. So they go outside, and they just start talking. They start talking, and then he starts, mentioning, I feel like we've gone closer, we were able to talk, you're not that embarrassed or scared around me or tense. And in a moment of, I guess, bliss, or just in a moment of weakness, like, she goes and she tells him, I like you, but she says under her breath. And in the next 4 panels, he's like, I heard what you said. And she just gets all embarrassed, and he says, please take care of me. And, she nods her head. So that's kind of saying, yeah, they're together. Be good for them, clap, clap, clap. Not my favorite couple. I think they're kind of boring, but that's good for them. Next one is Chiba and Kirihara. So this one is the teacher-student relationship. Now, Kirihara Sensei, you saw him in the anime. I think it was the last episode, second to last episode, that you see him when Ryoko is having having her exams. So up to this point, Chiba has been, relentless in her texting. Not saying that she likes him, but being very obvious that she has is attracted to him, and he's fighting in himself to either accept those feelings or to reject them, because he's a teacher, and he shouldn't have those feelings. But he does admit that he's starting to see her as more of a girl than a student. So he feels that that's not okay, but he can't really stop how he feels about her, and he ends up not going to the party. But he does remember that Chiba said that she would wait as long as it takes for him to come, and so he ends up going over there to go see her. All the while this is happening, Chiba's also at the party. She's just waiting. She's waiting outside after everyone's left, and all the trains have all gone, and so she can't really get home, so she might as well walk. And then these 2 guys come in. They try to take advantage of her, and the teacher comes in, and he stops them. And I think he gets punched or something, because he's on the ground, so I don't think he's very strong, or he did a very good job, but he's on the ground. And Chiba's so happy. She's like, I can't believe you came. I'm gonna go ahead, and she starts hugging him, and he immediately pushes her away, and he's like, minors aren't supposed to be out this late, and telling her to go home. And in the panels you see this look on his face. It looks like a serious face, but it looks like a pained face, like a face that doesn't have absolute resolution, because he is saying, yes, I'm a teacher, like you're my student, that is the relationship we have, we can't have anything else. But it also looked like he's fighting himself so hard to keep it that way. And Chiba sees this and she starts crying, because she's like, he really is a grown-up. He's looking at this in a teacher's eye, and he's a great teacher. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with this one, because they could go the way of them getting together after she graduates, or that something happens during then, or that this completely stops it. So many different things that could happen. And just, I thought it was really good the way they did it, because they didn't cross lines, and I think that was a great idea. They made it more realistic, and I think it's going to make the story better. And if it does pay off that they do get together after she graduates, it's going to just be a better payoff. The next one, I call this the Heartbreaker. This is with Motoyama and Enomoto. So if you remember, Motoyama is the otaku with the glasses and the bald head. And what had happened after the anime is there's this girl from Kansai that comes, and her name is Enomoto. And so she befriends Motoyama. And Motoyama is like very reluctant to be friends, because he's like, this is stupid. I don't want to be friends with girls. Like, he has that whole model, like, girls are trash, and we're the pearls. Like, we don't need to belittle to them, or that they won't ever like ugly people like us. But they've become friends during time, and she basically says she has no plans for New Year's, and so they invite her to go to Comic-Con. And so he starts getting this confidence in himself, saying that, you know what, this girl might actually like me, like I have a chance with her. And so they're waiting in line to Comic-Con. She's playing his DS, and then his friend and the girlfriend. I forget the name because I'm not talking about them right now. It's too many couples, but they go off, and so they're talking, and she kind of makes a joke, saying like, why are you spacing out? Like, are you thinking about all the like lewd, horny stuff you're gonna buy? And he's not embarrassed by it. He's like, you know what, I'm a man after all. Like, I think about those things, and those are some things that I like. Saying I'm very, very blunt. And then she says like, you know what, I want to be blunt about something too. And this piques his interest. Like, what does she want to say? Like, she's gonna confess something that there's so many things going through his mind. And then she says, when I was in Kansai, there was a boy that I liked. He was my best friend. And then she tells Motoyama that he confessed to her over the phone after she had moved over to where they are. And they've been talking a lot, but she doesn't know what they're going to do because they're far away. They have entrance exams that are coming up for college, and you see his face, and it's just very like still face, no emotion. But then he says, you know what, none of that matters. Like, if you guys do like each other, you can overcome those obstacles together. And she's like very happy, like, oh, you're such a great friend. And but then she says, you know what, I think this is so easy to talk to you because you're an otaku. Like, we don't have to worry about the boy-girl stuff. And, that was so hard to hear, because at least from what I understand, is basically she's telling him, I don't see you as a romantic interest whatsoever. And after you see that conversation, you see a flashback of what he did prior to going to Comic-Con. He's filling up his backpack with all the stuff like DS, and really thinking about her and what she would like the best. And then the last few panels, he in his mind, he says like, I already knew this wasn't gonna happen. And he said like, 2D is the best. And it broke my heart to see that happen to him. Like, I mean, there's still maybe a possibility that something can happen with them in the future, but this, I mean, that's reality. But that sucks for him. It just wasn't. It just hurt, and it's probably because I had something similar, not like that, but something somewhat similar. And there's little tags or little sayings that are on the side of the panels, and one of them says like, he's a protagonist in his story, but he has none of the benefits. Like, that's not fair, which is true. Moving on to this next couple, it's Kan and Chiaki, which is the best friends who have never kissed yet, and it's still the same. And what had happened prior to New Year's is, I guess they scheduled a date to, like make out, maybe have sex, all that stuff. And she got on her period, and so she, we can't really do much stuff. And he tried to push that on her, like, well, maybe we can, or maybe we can do this. And she's like, what am I, your booty call? And so she ends up going to the shrine for New Year's without him, and Chiaki's there, and his mom talks to him, say like, what happened? I thought you were gonna go out with with Kana. He says no, like she says she's gonna go with her friends this year, and the mom's like, oh yeah, you guys broke up. Oh okay, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, we didn't break up. It's like, we still like each other. She's just we're just having a fight. And she's like, oh, I bet you tried to do it with her while on her period. He's like, what the heck? How do you know that? And he's like, oh, I just know I have a woman's touch, whatever. And what's going on is they start talking, like him, his mom, and his dad, about the relationship. And one of the things that she says, which was really interesting, she says, like, she called her his relationship with Kana a fashion trend or a romance trend. Basically, you're just playing. You're not doing anything real, because you're not really fighting for someone that you love. And that's why I say you're just playing. This is just a trend. It's nothing real. People like to show pictures of them kissing on like social media, and then they put on the social media that they break up. Like that's not real love. And the dad, intervenes and says, I can't tell you what Kana's gonna say. Is like, but if you do care about her, you need to go and apologize to her. And Chiaki's like, she doesn't want to see me. And he's like, well, you gotta fight for her. Like, she probably is waiting for you to apologize. And the thing is like, and about the whole like getting rejected because you tried to push something on her that she didn't want. He says, I know that you did that because I did the same thing with your mom. So he's like, crap. And so he goes to the shrine and he talks to Kana, and they make up like almost instantly. She says that I don't like this distance between us. We gotta love each other for all that we are. But then she's like, but I want punch in the belly. So you don't see the punch, but that probably was gonna happen. And then the final one, this is with Hosokawa and Kotori. So Kotori is the love master in this one, and then Hosokawa is the girl that he saves from the tree and calls her kitten. So a little backstory to this one is we found out that Kotori has, I guess he's sick because he likes to, like in the anime we saw him like cough up blood because like he got hit by someone or she fell on him, but he actually does have a sickness. And this is just a small little story where he goes to Hosokawa's house and gives her a present, and they're having this little talk, just kind of exchanging words, and then he starts coughing up blood, and she's like, oh, what happened? Like, you're not good, like you need to get rest. And he's like, oh, like really? He's like, let me show you my true power. And he starts like shining brightly, and she's like believes that he's okay. And then as he leaves, he coughs up more blood, but then he says, I promise to kick this sickness to the curb. So his story, I think, is going to get a little bit more darker. I don't know what's going to happen to him. But overall, for these batch of stories, of the advancement of the couple, so I think we're really good. I think I'm glad they didn't focus on Kamine and Goda, just because theirs is kind of rock solid, and Kamine is kind of a what's it called? She's very attached to Goda and gets very jealous. So sometimes their stories aren't that good, but it's also good because they show like that they're progressing and that he's trying to accept her for who she is, and she's trying to get better. So those ones are good. Again, I can't wait for them to focus more on Akagi and Ryoko, because they're my favorite couple. Overall, these advancements I think were solid. We have some that failed, some that succeeded, some that are on a cliffhanger. I don't know what's going to happen in the next batch of stories. I know the book probably going to focus on the entrance exams and having them finish off the last of their school year and then graduate, which I think there's only 20 chapters left. So I don't know how they're going to... No, 20 chapters? Yeah, I think there's like 20 chapters left as of this recording. But I don't know where they are in terms of... the English translations, because I'm pretty sure we're very far back. Possibly. I have to check the Japanese ones, but hopefully there's a lot more to be translated, because they won't be able to wrap up everyone's stories in 20 chapters unless they make them like 50-page chapters and they kind of combine all of the stories and all the storylines all at once. So we'll go ahead and see. But overall, like, I give these by an 8.5 out of 10 for the whole bulk. Go ahead and keep reading Tsurezure Children. Hopefully they get a season 2. If you want any other manga reviews from me, just let me know in the comments below. And this is David the Smash Fan from Chibi no Podcast. Good night.